One thing I just love about Disney parks is that they are radically inclusive with all their guests. This includes guests that have difficulty tolerating standing in conventional lines for a long period of time. For guests that qualify, you are able to receive what's called a Disability Access Service Pass, or a DAS Pass. Let's talk about how this works and who can qualify for this service. Hey Seekers, Tisha here with Seeking the Magic. Disney loves all guests that visit their park, and this is especially true for guests with disabilities and challenges with navigating crowds and long conventional queues. For this purpose, Disney provides a Disability Access Service Pass to guests who qualify. Let's get into what this pass is, who this pass is designed for, and who might qualify for this pass. Okay, let's jump into how the DAS Pass actually works. This pass is not a cut-in-line pass. It's designed to allow a guest to reserve a spot in line and come back at a later time, usually corresponding with the standby wait time, for guests that are struggling with waiting in line for long periods of time. The Disability Access Service Pass is managed through your My Disney Experience app. Literally, you use this app for everything, so you'll want to be familiar with this app before arriving at Disney, unless you're like me, who checks Disney attraction times literally on a daily basis. I think it's my Roman Empire. Let me walk you through two different scenarios concerning the DAS Pass. One is showing up at the park that you're going to that day. Once your entire party has scanned in, whether it's one person or up to 5 people with the DAS Pass holder, you can go onto the My Disney Experience app and you can book a ride with the DAS Pass. No ride is off limits except for Guardians of the Galaxy and Tron. Once you've booked your ride, you can show up at the attraction that you booked for at the return time listed on the app. If something changes during the time that you book the app and when you were supposed to be at the attraction, it's no problem to go onto the app and delete that experience for that time. You will not be able to book another experience if you haven't, one, ridden the ride, which means everyone's scanning in and riding the ride, or unless you have deleted every person who was booked for that ride from the app, deleted them off riding that ride from the app. This is a general overview of exactly how the DAS Pass works once you get to a park and everyone has scanned in. If you're planning a Disney trip and you think someone in your party qualifies for a DAS Pass, the first thing you need to do when you arrive at a Disney park the very first day is go to Guest Relations, usually at the front of every park, right inside the park, to meet with a customer service representative. That person will help you figure out if the person you're traveling with does indeed qualify for a DAS Pass. Once the person in your party is accepted as someone who indeed does need a DAS Pass, then the guest relations person you're talking to will go on and make sure that everything is taken care of on the back end, and it will automatically translate over to the app, and this will help make your trip so much better. Okay, you have the DAS Pass now hooked up to your My Disney Experience app, either through stopping at Guest Relations at the front of the park, or you've done an advanced DAS Pass online. The second scenario is actually the one that I would recommend, and that is signing up in advance for a DAS Pass and not at the park. What I love about this option is that you get to do it in advance from 30 days before your trip up to 2 days before your trip, and you get to reserve 2 DAS Passes that will already be in your account, rides ready to ride for every day that you are at Disney. And this is for every guest that is traveling with your party up to 5 other people besides the DAS Pass holder. I would recommend doing this closer to 30 days before you head to Disney because rides do fill up. And not every ride at every park is available as a selection to ride. There are a few that are just really popular that they are not able to be advanced selections, but once you do get into the park, you will be able to use the DAS Pass on these rides, besides Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy. You can find a link to all the rides that are available to every park in the description of this video. The other rides that you cannot secure in advance are in Magic Kingdom, 7 Dwarfs and Space Mountain. At Epcot, it's Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Frozen Ever After. In Hollywood Studios, it's Rise of the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. In Animal Kingdom, it's Avatar Flight of Passage and Expedition Everest. Besides these rides, and again, Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy, as long as the rides you select are not booked up already, you should be able to select any ride that you would want to ride while you're there. The way these reservations work is a cast member will help you select the ones that you choose, and they will be for a specific time at those parks. You have to go ride those rides between the times that is booked. If you end up not making it because maybe you have bought a lightning lane for a certain other ride, you can always stop at a Blue Umbrella or guest relations, and they should be able to help you make a change to that reservation. If you decide to get the advanced DAS Pass, which again, I really recommend you do, your DAS Pass, once you get into the park, will work just like a normal DAS Pass will work. That means you will be able to book a ride, and once you ride that ride, you will be able to book another ride, no matter how many advanced passes you have. Now, the only caveat to that is that if you booked, let's say, Haunted Mansion and Big Thunder Mountain, for your advanced selection, you will not be able to book those rides because they were already pre-selected until you ride them. If the time is inconvenient and you are not able to make it to those rides between the hour that you were given, you can always delete that advanced reservation from your My Disney Experience app and rebook it at a later time or a different time that is more convenient for you. Or again, you can always go to a guest relations umbrella, which is a blue umbrella, and they can help you find a different booking time. Being a part of a family unit that has someone who needs this DAS Pass, it is such a blessing to our family. Disney doesn't just accommodate guests with special needs or someone who needs a DAS Pass, they celebrate those who need it, and we are just so incredibly thankful. I thought I would share with you what the official requirements are for the pass. The official requirements for getting the Disability Service Pass isn't a set of really hard and fast requirements that you have to meet or any documentation that you'll need to produce. However, in my experience, this pass is designated for guests who may be neurodivergent, and we know that this is a very broad spectrum of people. But it's also for people who may struggle with advanced anxiety, being around large crowds, who have extreme sensory sensitivity to loud noises, different things like that. The website does, however, state that this pass is not intended for guests that are in wheelchairs due to mobility issues, as most rides have a wheelchair accessible queue for this exact purpose. When you go to secure your pass, whether it's an advanced selection or you go in person at the parks, you will be asked really one question. And that question is, what concerns do you have about standing in the lines during your visit to Disney? I love this question because it doesn't ask anything about what are your needs or what specifically is going on with you. It is a very broad question, and I think one that is very fair for Disney to ask people, especially since they're very generous with this pass. Whether you go in person or you do the advanced DAS selection, what you will need to do is make sure you have your account with the My Disney Experience app and your entire party added to your account so that everyone will be able to ride with the DAS Pass holder. Let's talk a little bit about the application process for getting the DAS Pass and doing this officially online in advance up to 30 days before your trip, 30 days to 2 days. The application process to apply for the Disability Access Service Pass is done through Disney's official website. You can search for DAS Pass and you can apply there. The application is open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I recommend logging on as soon as it opens before it gets really busy. Wait times can be hours. We've experienced this. One time we did it, we waited maybe an hour. Another time we did it, our wait time was 3 hours, and it did take all of 3 hours. If the person applying for the DAS Pass is under 18 years old, it does require that their guardian is with them. This is a one-on-one conversation about your needs and how Disney can help you so that you can get the DAS Pass. Something I did, especially when it was the 3-hour wait, is you can log on to your My Disney Experience app and the chat actually will pop up on your phone. So you can carry it around with you and just keep an eye on your phone. So when the chat is ready and available, you are ready and available to do it. You will have to get back on your computer though to do the video chat, since for some reason this doesn't work on your phone. Besides the wait times that can sometimes be long, Disney really does make this easy for people to apply in advance and get advanced selections for every day that you're there. I know I said this before, but I am so grateful that Disney has this option for my family and I. Okay, I think we have covered a lot of how to get the DAS Pass once you get to the park, how to do advanced selection, what this looks like on your app, how it works once you're in the park. I just wanted to give you a few tips about using this app and what you might need to know when you get into the park. You can't actually use this pass, you can't pre-book rides until you scan into the park. And this is whoever has the DAS Pass holder, and anybody who's going to be riding a ride with the DAS Pass holder. You will not be able to book a ride until everyone has scanned into the park. Another thing that's been so good is guest services is so helpful for us and our family. Anywhere you see a blue umbrella, if you're having any problems at all with your app, with the DAS Pass, anything at all, their guest services are literally top of the line. I love that we can book all of our rides from our phone. There was a time when we went to Disney and the DAS Pass had to be booked at the actual entrance to the ride with the person who was the DAS Pass holder. And this was just a lot for someone who is neurodivergent and having to walk back and forth around the park and then wait to get on the ride. It's really so much more convenient that Disney has translated and moved all of this to app only, and you don't have to scan in at the ride until it's time for you to ride the ride. One of the things also that has to be done is whoever the DAS Pass holder is has to scan in at the ride first. So if you're ready to ride the ride and it's within your time slot, head over there, but the DAS Pass holder has to scan in first. Another thing that we've figured out with the DAS Pass is once the DAS Pass holder and anybody riding the ride with the DAS Pass holder has scanned in, not usually the first scan, but usually the second scanner. There's usually 2 scanners at each ride anymore at Disney, but once the DAS Pass holder and everyone riding has scanned in the second time, you can go on immediately to the app and book your next DAS Pass. You do not have to wait until you have ridden the ride. You can go on immediately after the second scanner and book your next ride. Since we do have a neurodivergent person in our family, we always try to cater to that person and what they want to do. We know that a day at the park can be so long for them. We totally get it. So we are always asking our DAS Pass holder what they'd like to do next and making sure that they get to do everything that they want to do and the things that they enjoy while we're at Disney. If it wasn't for the Disability Access Service Pass, our trips to Disney would look way different. In fact, we probably wouldn't even be able to do them. We are so grateful and thankful that they have seen people who would not be able to be at their parks and enjoy their parks like they were intended to be enjoyed if it wasn't for this pass. Disney, thank you for making these trips to Disney enjoyable for our family. Okay, Seekers, I hope that this video has helped you understand the DAS Pass a little bit more. If you have any more questions about the DAS Pass, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, and we will answer them as best as we can. We hope that your next trip to Disney is just magical. Let's keep seeking the magic together.